We're staying in Florida for both. Florida is really in the house today.
Wow. We need to make a trip.
We're going to Howard KAYE, and then we're going to finish up with Kathy Slayton.
Thanks. Hi, Stephanie. This has been terrific. Just to piggyback off of Jason and Doug earlier, I found my son who was on here today, Sammy, he joined me a couple of years ago. And while your kids really appreciate you growing up, they see what you're going through in business every day. And that, I'll tell you, that's how you can really teach them. But going to Doug's point with your personal situation and how you talked about forgiveness and all, I want to bring it on a less serious note than that, obviously, in business, crisis management, which might be very minor. I'm just curious your take on this. We started another kind of business, actually cybersecurity, about a year ago, and we're at the point where we're building out the software for a sizable amount of money. And there's 4 partners, 2 of us are putting up the money. And while I've been involved with these 2 other people for a number of years, when we make agreements on the phone and then they're written up in contract, and then you see their reaction to something that we absolutely discussed and were clear about and agreed to, you gain this resentment. Even though there's been an apology, oh, I didn't mean it that way, you're right. Somebody sees one word in the contract and they go with it.
Yeah.
And I finally, the next day when they calmed down, I said, did you read it? No, I just saw the one word and I overreacted. Okay, great. But now you've just revealed another side of you. Mm-hmm. And how do you is it just getting over it? Or is it just always have that eye open, knowing what could be?
Okay. So can I just answer this a little? Can I solve the problem first?
Sure.
Okay. So I had that exact same issue. And I was like, what? I mean, I've never been told I'm a bad communicator. Like, what is going on? Like, we had a very clear, there was a whiteboard. Like, there's no, what is going on? Okay. And so what I did was I basically put it on me. Okay. I basically said, hey, you guys, like, I feel like I've made too many mistakes about this. And I feel like we've wasted so much time legally. We've wasted so much time around contracts. And I feel like there's so much frustration, and I really don't want to start like this. I really want a cohesive, a really strong partnership. And I feel like that starts with communication. So since I've blown it so bad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Reggie, who was at the time was our decided upon person who was doing contracts. I'm going to ask him to join the meetings. That way he can just take the notes directly from that and create the contract. And they were a little miffed, but I put it on me. And I said, look, I keep missing it. I'm jumping on airplane after airplane after airplane. Maybe I missed something. I knew damn well I didn't miss anything. I mean, there was a whiteboard. Like, you can't miss a whiteboard. Nobody had any other.
We got past all that because, like you said, we all 4 of us, had it out to talk.
Yeah.
And we're at the point where they all basically said, we're very sorry. But my question is, how do you, as the person you are, like myself, say, now I'm feeling resentment toward that partner, and how do you overcome that part of it? Well, now that everything is good.
Right. So when I did that, after I did that, I basically made a formal apology. Now I will tell you, I get over things fairly easy. But I do remember. And so I always call it out. So if there's a meeting that's getting ready to happen, like a meeting that brought up the resentment, I'll say, hey, I want to do this differently because of, and I'm very clear. I feel pretty resentful about the time and the effort and the energy. I protect time and energy like crazy. So I want to make sure that doesn't ever happen again. What do I need to do? It hasn't happened very often, but it's happened a couple times where I'm like, let's sit down and have the meeting. Can we start 15 minutes early? Because I want to make sure that this doesn't ever happen again. And I call it back out, and you see them, they cringe. Right. They're like, oh, but I am not going to let my resentment go and be taken advantage of again. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to be very gracious. I'm going to be very kind. I'm going to be very calm, but it's not going to happen again. Because the second time it happens, it's my fault.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Steph.